Hey guys, it's Ray from Galluccio Collectables. Yeah, we took a little bit of a break. We do a lot of different things. My son Justin does puppet shows. He is the Grinch. And recently, our last video you saw, we belong to this group called Star Cars. I think I've mentioned it before, but we have a Transformers Bumblebee 1976 Camaro that we're in the Hollywood Christmas Parade, which hasn't aired yet, but because we were there, like Hollywood does, they tape it and then they air it later. But yeah, so that's where I've been. Busy. But yeah, so today, because again, my son does the Grinch and puppet shows, sometimes he needs little jingle bells. Well, it's easier to make this stuff and cheaper to make this stuff if you have the know-how to do it than to go buy it, because it's really, really expensive. And sometimes they kind of use crap products. So we're actually going to be using leather on this thing. Anyway, this you'll see it. I'll take pictures of it, but the ones I already made, I already put away, so that's why I can't show you. But it's going to be a 3-bell handheld jingle bell noisemaker, if you want to call it. And this is some of the stuff you'll need. You'll need, I would say, leather. So you can go to a thrift store. I got a lot of thrift stores, as you guys know. And all this is a belt, a leather belt that I'm using for straps. So we got that as savers. We also, this is another thing. It's called, it's by Craft Time. I don't know. Let's see. You see it. It's a craft wire. It bends pretty good. This is what we're going to use to hold the bells on the leather. And there's the bells we got actually at Dollar Tree. Not bad. 6 bells for like $1.25. Pop rivets. We're going to use that to secure the handheld thing together. A box cutter. A rivet gun. A leather hole punch, because that punches the holes in to put the wire in to secure the bells. If not, it'd be interesting. You can try and drill it, but this leather hole punch is a lifesaver for doing stuff like that. These little tin snips to snip the wire. Sometimes it's a little bit too long, so you snip the wire. And these, I'm using these because sometimes the pop rivet doesn't go all the way through, so you use this. It's a plumber's pipe wrench, just to get the pressure. I'm sure you can use a little hammer or whatever you have, but this is what I use for the other ones, and it worked out pretty well. So this is what we're going to do today. All right, guys, stay tuned. Okay, guys, here we go. First, I'm going to take my box cutter and cut the length I need. It's always good to make sure you have a sharp blade in there, because it'll be a pain. If not, you'll be trying to saw stuff, and it's interesting. So, yes, this came from a belt at the thrift store. You can see it's got some. Oh, all right. It was pretty thick leather, because once you put the bell on here, you want it to be thick leather, because you get the wire. It's gonna be pretty cool. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make two straps out of this. All right. Stay tuned, guys. And once you split it, you can actually take your time and cut this. Once you already scored it, kind of make sure you stay on the line, though. The belt was pretty cheap, but you don't want to waste anything. See, when you get 2 straps, boom, ta-da. What's going to happen is eventually it's going to look like this, like that, jing-ling-ling-ling-ling. So next, going to find the midway point. Actually, you want to turn it around because it'll be easier that way. So when you find the midway point, kind of want to. All right, so get a pen, which I forgot, and you're going to want to mark it midway point. You guys can see that. So what you're going to do is you mark it midway point. You're going to make little dots right here, and that's where you're going to punch the holes. So you probably want about 1/4 of an inch. You can see it. See that? It's like a little face. So about 1/4 inch is you're going to punch the first hole. And the reason why how you find the midway point is when you bend that leather, you get that right there. So you can take your trusty hole punch, and you're taking where that made that mark. You don't want a lot of space, and then make sure you put it in the middle of the leather, like right about there, so you see it. Because you don't want it off to the side, that's going to make it weird. And you punch that hole. Make sure it's lined up, because sometimes, with you guys, sometimes I make marks and they're not perfectly lined up and it looks strange. So, again, bring it down so it's center. There we go. So you get something that looks like that. See the holes? What's going to happen is this wire is going to go through here, like that, and hold the bell on. And you're going to make a little horseshoe looking thing. So you get that this. Pretty cool, huh? Cool. All right, so you're going to get the wire. You can kind of guesstimate how much you need, because you don't want to waste stuff. And then you get the length of one. You're going to cut 3 of these things. There you go. Helps if I aim for the camera. So seeing I'm making 2, I need 6. So notice what this is going to do is hold the bell in. There we go. So what you're going to do is take and bend this. Just kind of guesstimate what it's going to look like, because this is going to be a little extra anyway. So you bend it down, almost like a paper clip, almost. And you're going to take this, put it through the bell, like so. Then you're going to push it through here, the leather, the holes you made. So, okay, there you go. And then all you do is take this. You don't have to be super tight, because the other ones I made, I thought had to be super tight, but they're not going to go anywhere. This is not going to be anything. All it's doing is pretty much a glorified fastener for the bell. Just bend it one way, bend it the other way. There we go. And we continue the process. And I'll show it pretty quick, so you don't have to hear me keep on going on and on. But that's pretty much what we got. And then eventually, as you see, you got the... And these bigger bells actually are better to get anyways, because they got a really good deep sound to them. And yeah, it works pretty well. Hey guys, I almost forgot. Also, you're going to need a little pair of pliers. Because what you're going to want to do is, to make the bell a little tighter, you come in here where the wire is at. You see that right there? And you're going to take and squeeze that. Just so it's a little tighter. See how that moved? Yeah. Get up out of there. Squeeze a little tighter on this one. There you go. There you go. Cool. See, it's tighter. So, and then what you're going to do is, like I was saying, so this is going to continue. I'm not going to show all the other process. It'll be by the end of the time, but it's the same process with the other 3 bells. But you come in here, you're going to trim this excess off, because it's too much. So, a little snip, snip. A little snip, snip. And there you go. Kind of like the finished product. And then come back in here and tighten up a little more, because once you cut it, it gets weird. But okay. Here we go. He's not shaking around. Okay, so cool. All right, so I'm going to complete these and I'll show you the finished product. I guess. Hey guys, I almost forgot one thing. Okay, so to make that U shape, all you do is get your little pliers that I added right there. Kind of put it in the center. Remember, you're gonna make like a paper clip. So just bend it, bend one side down, bend the other side down, and then you get your little paperclip bell holder thing. Okay, guys. Now we have the bells. Pretty loud. That's why you want the bigger bells. Okay, now the last, see, and then everything's all tied up in the back, like I said. That's what it should look like. Again, you don't have to twist it. At first, my first prototype of this thing, it was ugly. I thought I had to twist it and twist it. It's not really, it all doesn't hold the bells. And this metal is pretty strong. So it's pretty good. You don't have to worry about twisting. That should be sufficient. Unless you got someone tugging on it and the stuff, which they shouldn't be doing in the first place. Because all you're doing is this. And this doesn't give a lot of torque. So, all right, so what you're going to do next, the very last thing, is you're going to figure out where you want to put that pop rivet. So what I do is I get it to probably about a ½ inch. You can mark it if you want, or you just go ahead and hole punch it right where it stands. So probably pretty much right about there. Make sure it's centered. And pop. And there's your hole. That's why I like using this. I mean, this is actually good for. Say you have a belt that you get from the store, and it doesn't fit properly, or you need an extra hole. Either your waist has become bigger, like mine, unfortunately, especially around the holidays, or you become skinnier and you let extra belt loop or extra hole. This thing actually has got a bunch of different settings on it. It actually works for a bunch of different, especially if you do a lot of craft. You do crafting with leather. It's actually perfect because it punches that perfect hole. You could drill this, but it would be fun. All right, so now, and the pop rivet, if you can think of a different way to do it besides a pop rivet, that's fine. But pop rivet works the best. Or I'm sure there are other fasteners out there that are better. So, you just pop this in here like this. Ta-da! You get your two holes you made. Actually, I have to make a bigger hole. All right, that took a little while. I didn't think you guys would want to watch that because that was fun, watching me struggle. But all right, so once you get the right hole, you pop the rivet in here. You want to make sure you hold it. I don't know if you guys ever used the pop rivet gun, but it's a series of clicks to get this thing to go. And as you click, it's like a ratchet. It gets tighter and tighter and tighter until it finally snaps off. So come here like this. Make sure that this is even because you don't want to be stuck with that stuff because that'd be weird. Centered. There we go. And let the clicking begin. And it snaps off. Boom. And then you're there. And this is the part where I take my pliers and go a little deeper to make sure it's cinched down because you don't want this thing to pop open. So clamp it. Go on a couple times clamping it. Make sure it's on there. There you go. Nice and tight. Yep. And there you go. All set. Ready for your Christmas program or whatever you're going to do. So that's the project for you. And it's not really a toy, but it's kind of a kind of cool little project. And you can play with it, obviously. So until the next, play with your toys.